This is why self-improvement is not a cure for social anxiety. So if you have social anxiety, if you are afraid of being judged whenever you go out, and you feel like everyone is looking at you, judging you, or thinking that you're weird, if you are super afraid of going to events and you tend to avoid events like going to the party, or if you have social anxiety, self-improvement is not the cure for you. And I'm gonna tell you what is the cure for you and what can set you free from finally be 100% free from social anxiety. So first thing first, I'm gonna tell you my story and my experience, right? Because as you can see, I was on self-improvement for years, right? I was able to make progress. I was able to look better, have a decent physique, become better, look better, feel better about myself. I was able to read books. I was able to get more knowledge, become smarter. And I even made money online. But let me tell you this. Even with all of the experiences, even with not all of the things that I had acquired in my life, I would still feel anxious and I would still be nervous and anxious around people. I would suck at talking to people regardless. I always think maybe I need more time. Maybe in the future, the better that I become, the more that I meditate, the more books that I read, the more muscle that I get in the future, I would be able to be free from my social anxiety. And that was a lie. Because the crazy part that I would see is that all the people that were lazy, fat, that they were not trying to be better or striving for greatness. You probably have seen this before, right? There's a lazy, fat guy that is talking to people in a healthy way. That he just gets the girl that you want to get. He just talks to the girl in like a super simple way. Hey, how are you? How was your day? And they're able to talk to them, right? While you are out there trying to read more books about how to socialize, how to win friends and influence people, how to talk to anyone. While you're reading all of these books, there's a guy that hasn't read a single book. There's a guy that hasn't hit a single workout in his life. Yet, he's better at talking to people than you are. So self-improvement, it's never the cure for social anxiety. Becoming better, look better, have better things in your life, it has never been the cure for social anxiety, because I was on this trap too. Because your books won't save you. It's like, let me give you a quick example, right? Imagine having a good car. You have a Ferrari right now in your garage. You have a good Ferrari. Everyone that comes home at the garage, you have a Ferrari, right? Everyone's like, dude, this is so good, bro. Like, I really like this car, this and that. Everyone stares at it. Everyone looks at it. Everyone's like, dude, everyone is like impressed and proud of you because you have this car at your garage. But there's something wrong with the car. The engine is fucked up and it barely works. You cannot even drive it because it starts to make noises. It starts to shake when you are on the highway. So what's the point of having a good car? What's the point of having a car that looks good outside if it's fucked up inside? If it barely works? If the engine is fucked? It is the same thing with you. You can become better. You can look better. You can have better things in your life. Yet, there will always be something wrong with you. And you will always feel anxious around people. It is the same thing with you. You can have better things in your life. You can make the money. You can make the business. But there will always be something wrong inside of you. So what's the point of having an amazing car that looks good if the car doesn't even work? If the engine is fucked? First, you have to address the inner problem, the problem that is inside of the car before you fix anything outside of you. That's basically how it works. But now imagine if you have this car, but now the engine is in great conditions, and the car is fast and working, and it looks great outside too. That's basically what you want to strive for. And I'm not saying that self-improvement is bad, but what I'm saying is, if you want to be free from social anxiety, the cure is not self-improvement, because self-improvement will get you better things outside, but it will not improve anything inside. The reason that self-improvement is not the cure for social anxiety is because social anxiety is an internal problem, right? Because everything that you do on self-improvement is helping you the external things, but it will not help you something internal. So you probably have seen this before, right? It's the check engine warning, right? It's warning you that there's something wrong inside of the car, that you have to address it in order for you to continue driving your car. So this check engine is the anxiety that you feel around others. Whenever you feel anxious, whenever you feel socially anxious around other people, whenever you feel awkward, it's your anxiety telling you, hey, there's something wrong inside. Hey, you have to check on this because there's something wrong inside, right? Because social anxiety is not a problem that you have to solve, it's a symptom. And it's a symptom of something internal, and it's a symptom of a belief that you have that I'm going to talk about later. And if you're able to change this thing inside of you, forget it, man. You will be able to be your true self around others and be confident around other people. So now you might be like, okay, if self-improvement would not help me to be free from my social anxiety, what will help me then? If becoming more jacked and maybe thinking that I'm going to be proud of myself is not going to help me, what will help me then? The inner problem that you have to address is the belief that you're not good enough. And then you might be like, okay, you see, like self-improvement could help me because if I get good enough, if I get the business, if I get jacked, read more books, get the cars, I will be able to be good enough. Like I said, it doesn't work like that. You're not going to be free from social anxiety if you get more things in your life, because the problem is inside of you. The check engine is warning you that there's something wrong inside of you, that there's an inner problem that you have to address first in order for you to be free from this problem. And like I said, social anxiety is not a problem, it's a symptom of this belief, the belief that you're not good enough. So by having more things in your life, it will not help you to be more free, or it will not help you to be more confident. And this is the lie that we tell ourselves. The more that I get, the better that I become. The more books that I read, the better I'm gonna be in the future, right? And I just need more time. This is a lie. This is the lie that I used to believe. So the belief that you have to start to change is the belief that you're not good enough. Because right now, the reason that you have this belief is because of the bad experiences that you had as a kid. Maybe your parents didn't, and I know that this is, you're a trauma, and it sounds hippie and it sounds gay, but let me tell you, I know that this sounds gay and I know that it sounds hippie, but this will help you to be confident as fuck, right? So this makes you, all of these experiences that you had as a child makes you believe that there's something wrong with you. It makes you believe that you're not good enough. And since you are not good enough, the fact that you're not good enough, you have to compensate it with good things in your life. Because, it's like, if I am myself around people are going to reject me. Therefore, I need to be good things, have the business, be jacked, get muscle in order for people to like me and accept me. That's wrong again. Because, let me tell you this, right? You can be confident right now. Right here, right now, you could be confident without waiting to be better. You could be confident right now. Right here, right now, you could be confident and be able to be free from social anxiety if you just change this belief. The belief that you're not good enough. Because you're not broken. You don't have to become someone else in order for you to love yourself, in order for you to be free from social anxiety. And I know this sounds hippie and gay, and this sounds like the hippie, or like, oh, you're not broken, man. But hey, it's true, right? You just gotta change this belief in order for you to become more confident and free from social anxiety. What if I told you that you can go and approach your crush at maybe the grocery store, you saw a cute girl, or maybe at work? What if I told you that you can go and approach her without feeling anxious? What if I told you that right now, right here, right now, you could be the friend with a cool guy at the gym without waiting to be better? You can. You're just a few steps from become your true self. You're just a few steps from be free from social anxiety without waiting to be better. You are able to do that. You're able to transform yourself. And like I said, I'm going to give you everything. But if you want me to help you to apply this in your life and see permanent changes in your life, and if you want to become free from social anxiety, check the link in the description. So stop believing the lie that you need to wait to be better in order for you to make friends or get the girl. You can do it right now if you're able to change this belief. Because right now, the more that you avoid social events, the more that you avoid talking to the girl, the more that you avoid talking to the guy or making a joke, the worse your social anxiety gets. Because you probably know, if you're on self-improvement, you know this, right? The more that we delay pain, the worse our life gets. The thing that the reason that you avoid pain and it feels quote unquote good, it's because you tell the excuse that you're gonna be productive rather than talking to people. Because you're just hiding from your fears. Mug mode and becoming better and then be productive, it has become an excuse for you. Because you're afraid of going out and getting rejected. Or you're afraid of going out because you deep inside of you, you believe that people are dangerous. So the more that you delay this pain, the worse it gets in the future. You're just delaying the pain. You're just hiding from your fears. You're just quote unquote waiting to be better. And that feels good because it feels productive, but it's not. You're just delaying. Oh my God, what's that? You're just delaying pain. You're just delaying facing your fears. Right? Because what you have to understand if you have social anxiety is that you ask yourself the wrong question. I have social anxiety? Yes or no? Yes, I have social anxiety, or I suck at talking to people, right? Those are false statements. Because the thing with social anxiety is, at what extent do you have social anxiety? In what type of environments do you have social anxiety? With what type of people do you have social anxiety? Maybe you're able to talk to guys in a normal way, but when a cute girl gets close, or you have to talk to a cute girl, you get super anxious, right? So the thing with social anxiety is that it's not a yes or no. It's at what extent, at what percentage do I feel anxious? With what type of people do I feel anxious? Because what you have to understand, and this gave me a lot of hope when I first started addressing my problem, is that the reason that you feel anxious is because you believe that you're not good enough at 8%, right? Maybe other people feel anxious at some point and they believe it at 4%, right? So if you're able to believe this lie, I'm not good enough, just a little less, you will be able to be less anxious around others and more confident with other people. So this is how it looks. If you're able to make progress and stop to believe this lie less, you will be able to be more confident around others. If you're able to just start to see yourself and start to becoming more aware that you are not good enough or that you are not broken, you will be able to be more confident and less anxious. As simple as that. So now you might be like, okay, how can I move the scale then? If this is the solution and this will set me free, how are you going to be able to make progress and move the scale? How are you going to be able to believe that you're not good enough? Just a little bit to move the needle forward. For you to become confident as fuck is by start doing self-acceptance, self-love, more compassion toward yourself. Because right now, if we could have the self-talk and the way that you talk to yourself in front of me, I would be able to see how negative, how much hate and how hateful you talk to yourself. Because right now, nobody else is judging you but you. You're the only one attacking yourself. I could have done better. I could have done more. I need to do more. But the way that you talk to yourself is so negative that this is causing you and this is making you more anxious, and this is reinforcing the belief that you're not good enough. So first, I know that you have fucked up. I know that you are not where you want to be just yet. But practicing self-compassion and self-love will help you to make more progress on this area of your life, which is your social anxiety. It's by decreasing the percentage that you believe the thought that you're not good enough. Because don't get me wrong, I believe that you have to strive for greatness and be the best man in your generation and you retire your family. I'm not saying that you should give up on your goals, but what I'm saying is first you have to address these problems. Why do you hate yourself? Why do you think you're not good enough? Why do you think you don't deserve love? And then from that point, take action. Because right now I want you to acknowledge the small wins, the small accomplishments that you've done, and be more positive towards yourself. Because people are like, wow, you made progress. It wasn't good enough. Yeah, I could have done better. Yeah, this is not good. And that's why, like I said, you reinforces the fact that you're not good enough. You're reinforcing the fact that there's something wrong with you. Because you're not at the best self yet, and that's why you're rejecting yourself right now, and therefore you believe that people will reject you too because you're rejecting yourself. You gotta acknowledge the small wins, the small accomplishments that you've done in order for you to be like, wow, maybe I'm not that fucked up. Oh wow, maybe I'm not the loser that I believe in or that I feel that I am. Maybe I'm good. Maybe I'm not the person that I see myself. Maybe I'm not this weird guy that I feel like people think that I am. Because if you're able to celebrate your small wins, to see the accomplishments that you've done, little by little, you will be able to change the belief that you're not good enough or that there's something wrong with you. So right now you have to understand who you are, what traits you have, what strengths you have. By understanding who you are, by basically improving the relationship that you have with yourself, you will be able to be less anxious around others. Because the more that you love yourself, the more you stop to believe that there's something wrong with you, and the more that you stop to, the less powerful this belief that you're not good enough becomes, if you're able to do this, right? So that's the first step. The second step, say, why do you feel anxious all the time? Because right now there's a voice in your head judging you and making you feel that everything you do, say is dumb, stupid, not good enough, awkward, stupid, whatever the case is. You always feel judged by others. But let me tell you, no one is judging you. We can say there's a monster inside of you. You gotta study the inner critic. Instead of doing journaling, gratitude journaling, right? You have to do the journaling that will kill this monster. The journaling that will help you to conquer your social anxiety. And that's what I'm gonna talk about later. And I'm gonna show you how to do gratitude in a way that you can melt away your social anxiety. So instead of doing all the type of journaling and all of that, which it's good, right? Don't get me wrong. Those are good things that you can do. It's better than doing nothing. But if you gotta understand that you have a problem and you have to address this problem, right? I'm not gonna be, let's say I need to take vitamin C and I'm taking vitamin D as an example. If I take vitamin C, the problems that I have will disappear, right? Don't get me wrong, taking vitamin D is good, but if you really want to solve a problem, you gotta address it first. So if you want to address this problem of social anxiety, you have to address it. And instead of doing all the type of journaling, you have to do the journaling that I'm going to talk about later, so you can finally be free from social anxiety and conquer your social anxiety. So what's the inner critic, right? It's the negative voice that you have in your head. It's a monster that we can say it's alive, that is judging you. And that everything that you do, everything that you say is dumb, awkward, stupid, and not good enough, right? So this is what keeps you anxious around people, because you always have this voice in your head judging you, right? And you're gonna agree with this. You're gonna be like, dude, I feel like you're reading my mind, right? You probably have had one or more of these statements in your life. Whenever you're talking to people, whenever you go out, whenever you approach the girl, whenever you're talking to a guy, you always have these statements. Look at you. You're so awkward. Look at your clothes. Your hair looks weird right now. Oh my God, why did you say that? That was so stupid. People can tell you're anxious. People can tell you're a loser and you don't have friends. No one wants to hang out with you. People are thinking, who invited this guy? People are thinking, who does he think he is? If you have had one or more of these statements, welcome to the guys that have social anxiety. Welcome to the club, right? Because you're not the only one having these voices. Sometimes I have these voices too, but they're not powerful anymore because of the things that I did. And a lot of the guys that have social anxiety have these voices too. We feel that we are getting judged by everything we do or say 24/7. And this is making you more anxious because you always have this voice in your head. Right? Whatever you do, say is inadequate, enough, not good enough, stupid, dumb, awkward, right? And this is what makes you anxious when you go out, because 24/7 you are being analytical and you cannot focus on what the other person is saying, because you have this voice in your head and you are listening to this voice and you are believing this voice as well. Why did you say that? Oh, he's probably thinking that you're dumb. He can tell that that you're anxious or nervous, right? 24/7 you have this voice, and this voice is making you more anxious. So how are we gonna be able to conquer this voice? First thing first is don't ever attack it, right? Don't attack this voice. Don't give it power. Just listen to it and give it a name, right? Because if you give it a name, you're able to separate yourself from this voice, because you're not this voice. This is not your mind. It's the inner critic. That's what the psychologists and the experts call it, the inner critic. So you have to give it a name. I call this part of me the Green Goblin, right? And let's say you call it, I don't know, Matthew, right? I don't know, Matthew, whatever the case is, Green Goblin, right? I'm like, oh, what is the Green Goblin saying right now? What lies is the Green Goblin saying, telling me right now? If I go out to a party, oh my God, people are thinking that you're weird. Look at you, you look ridiculous. I don't attack it. I'm like, no, I look good. Look, I look good. I'm gonna go to the mirror and you see, I'm good. I look good, right? I don't have to attack it. I just gotta be aware of it, and I just gotta know that this is like, hey, yeah, like, okay, Green Goblin, yeah, like, you're telling me this. I know that it's a lie. It's like, don't take it seriously. It's just a lie. It's just telling you lies. And the more that you give it power, the more that you listen to it. Well, the more that you listen to it in a way of believing it, is the moment that you get affected by this voice. So don't attack it. Don't give it power. Just acknowledge it. Just listen to it. Like, oh, the Green Goblin is saying this. And then you can let go. And then you can conquer it later at night when you do your journaling. When you do the journaling that I'm going to talk about later. Right? So this is a liar. So this is the first thing that I want to say is the awareness log. Bro, and if you are able to do this, you will be able to see changes. This is so powerful, man, because I remember when I first started doing this, this voice of being judged and criticized, or thinking that other people are thinking that I'm dumb, stupid, weird, you name it, started to disappear and started to become less powerful. And the less powerful that this became, the more I was able to be myself, and the less anxious I was around others, because I was not believing the lies that the inner critic was giving me. So you gotta do the awareness log. So first thing first, write down the situation where you felt anxious. You gotta write down the emotions are this, right? You felt anxious, you feel nervous, you felt unloved, you feel embarrassed, right? And then the body sensations. I'm gonna give you an example, right? When I first started doing this is the example that I was able to notice, right? I was at the wedding and everyone was looking at me, right? Quote unquote looking at me. Everyone was looking at me. People that know me were there, right? Some people that knew me, that used to know me from church, they were there too. So they were at the wedding. And when I would walk out, when I would like try to get my drinks or the food or whatever the case is, this voice would be judging me, right? So I feel tense walking around people, and my chest was racing, right? So write down the situation, write down the body sensations and how you felt, the emotions. I felt anxious, I felt worried, I felt nervous, I felt inferior, I felt unloved, because I thought that everyone was looking at me, judging me, thinking that I'm stupid, awkward, and that I don't look good. And the guys there were, but like, who the fuck does he think he is? Why is he here, right? Once you have this thing, you have written down your situation, your body sensation, your emotions. Now what we want to do is you want to write down the thoughts that this critic, the inner critic, the inner monster was saying about you. Look at you. Everyone is thinking that I look stupid, dumb, ridiculous. People that know you are thinking that you're a failure. Everyone is ahead of you. The guys over there are cooler than you are. You're a loser. Once again, if you can relate, this is so relatable, right? So I was having all of these thoughts. Those are automatic thoughts that my inner critic was saying. But then I was able to give it a perspective. You gotta question these statements and these voices, and you gotta give it a different perspective of what was really happening at the moment, right? Because your mind is like, everyone is thinking that I look dumb, stupid, ridiculous. Look at you, man. Your clothes, your hair, it looks weird, right? But that wasn't the case, right? So I had to question these beliefs and give a different perspective. Everyone's thinking that I look dumb, stupid, right? Hey, what's the truth here? What can I give it a? I'm gonna give it a different perspective. The truth was that no one was thinking about me. Everyone were worried about who was getting married, about how good they were looking. No one gave a fuck about me. No one was thinking about me. In fact, I was looking good. I was looking fresh. I went to the mirror. I was like, God damn, I look great, right? I was looking fresh, and no one was judging me or thinking that I'm weird. So I was able to give a different perspective to the perspective that my inner critic was giving me. No one was thinking, oh, people that know you are thinking that you're a failure. Everyone is ahead of you. No one was thinking that. They didn't even talk to me. So why would they assume that I'm a failure and that everyone's ahead of me if they didn't approach me and if we didn't have a conversation? It doesn't make sense. And another thing is that, realistically speaking, is no, man. Some guys that are 22, 23, some of them are trying to figure things out too. Right? It's not that, oh, look at you, everyone's ahead of you. Other people are trying to figure things out too. Everyone guys my age are trying to figure things out too. So this voice doesn't make sense. Oh, look, the guys over there are cooler than you are. You're a loser. I said what's up to one of them, and he might be thinking, oh, this is a cool guy, man. He approached me. He still remembers me after years that we haven't seen each other. He came up to me and he said, what's up? Oh, he's a cool guy, right? So this is what you have to do, is question reality, see whether these voices are not true, because for your entire life, I believe these lies. And for your entire life, you have believed these lies too. So the moment that you question these lies and you're like, maybe people are not thinking that about me, it's the moment that you're getting free from your social anxiety and from this voice. This is beautiful, man. And you can probably see how excited I get, because, man, I've been lied and scammed by this fucking voice my entire life. So that's why when I'm able to do this, I'm setting myself free. Because the next time the more that I do this, the more that I see that all of these voices in my head, all of the ways that people are seeing me or perceiving me or thinking about me are just lies. And these voices becoming less powerful. And that's how I'm able to see that I'm good enough, because no one is judging me. So you gotta give a different perspective and just open yourself to possibilities. Maybe, oh, everyone is thinking that you're weird. Look at you, man. Maybe there was a girl that was thinking that, oh my God, this guy is attractive. This guy is good. You gotta open yourself to possibility, question reality, and give a different perspective to this voice. And that's how you're gonna be able to change. And like I said, please do this. If you do this, you will be able to see changes. But if you want me to apply this for you in your life, I always leave a link in the description if you if you need an extra help to overcome the social anxiety. I don't want to make this too long, but another thing that I would say to you is soften the statements. Because the things that you have in your mind is that everyone is thinking that you're weird. No one is gonna like you. No girl on earth would ever date you. You gotta soften the statements, soften the extremes. Right? Instead of be like, all the time, I'm boring all the time. Not all the time. I made some people laugh in the past. I made some strangers laugh. I have given the compliments and the jokes. I made people laugh. I made people smile. So I'm not boring all the times. Right? Oh, you run out of things to say to everyone. You have nothing to offer. Not to everyone, of course. I have my values. I have my passion. I have my hobbies. Maybe other people find my things boring, and that's okay. But I'm not boring all the time. Some people, oh, you're always a stupid, and everyone thinks that you don't have anything to offer. Yeah, some people do. Some people actually think that I'm smart. Some people actually think that I am really like smart guy. I'm not gonna believe those lies. Everyone thinks that you're stupid and that you are ridiculous right, like like this voice is so stupid, right? Everyone Everyone is saying that I'm look dumb and stupid, ridiculous. Everyone on earth. I don't think so, man. They don't even know me. How come they're gonna come up with the conclusion that I'm stupid or that everyone thinks that I'm dumb? It doesn't make sense. So the more that you question, the more interviews that you have with with a critic, with these voices, you are able to make them less powerful. The less powerful that you make them, the more powerful you become yourself. So that's how you can basically become free. Soften the statements, question these voices, and also do the awareness log so you can be able to make more progress and become confident. So that was the video. If you need an extra help, I leave a link in the description. Subscribe if you like more. I make content for people that have social anxiety. Thank you.